What if the single greatest barrier between you and unlimited wealth isn't your education, your background, or even your connections, but simply a number you haven't written down yet? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. Has this ever happened to you? You work tirelessly, follow all the conventional financial advice, save diligently, and yet abundance seems to constantly slip through your fingers like water. What if I told you that the wealthiest, most prosperous individuals throughout history have accessed a hidden dimension of financial manifestation that the average person knows nothing about? Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share has transformed thousands of lives across 6 continents, yet remains hidden from mainstream financial discourse. This isn't about stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrency. This goes deeper, tapping into the very mathematical fabric of our universe. For over 60 years, a numerical sequence discovered by the metaphysical teacher Connie Mendez has been silently turning ordinary people into wealth magnets. Bankers don't want you to know this. Financial advisors won't tell you this, because it bypasses their entire system of control and limitation. Think about it. Our entire universe operates on mathematical principles. The golden ratio appears throughout nature. The Fibonacci sequence governs everything from flower petals to galaxies. Is it really so hard to believe that wealth also follows specific numerical patterns? What you're about to discover might surprise you, because it contradicts everything you've been taught about money. We've been conditioned to believe that wealth requires decades of struggle, sacrifice, and sophisticated investment strategies. But what if that's all been an elaborate distraction from a much simpler truth? I was skeptical too. As someone with 3 degrees in economics, I was trained to dismiss anything that couldn't be explained by conventional financial theory. But after witnessing transformation after transformation, a struggling single mother in Arizona who manifested an unexpected inheritance, a debt-ridden college graduate who suddenly received 3 job offers within days, a retired teacher whose forgotten investments suddenly multiplied, I couldn't deny the pattern anymore. The secret lies in a specific number that, when written exactly 17 times with precise intention, creates a vibrational frequency that aligns directly with the universal wealth current. This isn't wishful thinking or visualization. This is cosmic mathematics, programming the field of infinite possibility to deliver abundance specifically to you. Don't believe me yet? That's perfectly normal. Your rational mind is designed to reject what it doesn't understand. But consider this. Quantum physics has proven that observation affects reality at the subatomic level. If consciousness can influence particles, why couldn't it influence the particles that form our financial reality? In the next few minutes, I'm going to share exactly how Connie Mendez discovered this numerical sequence during her studies with esoteric masters, and how a forgotten secretary named Carmen Rodriguez used it to transform from penniless to prosperous in just 28 days. If you want to continue discovering these ancient prosperity secrets, make sure to subscribe to our channel. I reveal another powerful numerical code that can transform your financial reality. Join our abundance community by clicking that subscribe button now. Carmen's journey is a perfect illustration of why this works. When she first heard Connie Mendez reveal this numerical sequence in that crowded Caracas auditorium, she wasn't looking for a mindset shift or positive affirmations. She'd tried all that. What she needed was a fundamental rewiring of her relationship with universal abundance. You see, this isn't about positive thinking. Let me be absolutely clear about that. Visualization, affirmations, vision boards. These approaches can have value, but they're operating at the surface level of reality. What I'm sharing operates at the quantum level, where reality itself is programmed and reprogrammed through specific vibrational frequencies. Think of it as the difference between trying to influence the weather with your thoughts versus understanding the mathematical patterns that actually create weather systems. One is wishful thinking. The other is applied cosmic science. When Carmen began writing this numerical sequence, she wasn't just engaging in a ritual. She was literally reprogramming the energetic field around her, changing the hidden matrix that determines which opportunities, people, and resources are drawn into your life. Experience. The revelations that emerged from Connie Mendez's work show us that wealth isn't something we chase. It's something we tune into, like adjusting an antenna to receive a clear signal. Most people spend their entire lives on the wrong frequency, wondering why abundance eludes them while others seem to attract it effortlessly. This numerical code, 529, isn't random. It contains within it the mathematical blueprint for manifestation. Each digit represents a specific cosmic principle that, when combined and activated through your focused intention, creates an unstoppable command to the universe. The transformation begins the moment you understand that the universe doesn't respond to need or desperation. It responds to mathematical precision and energetic alignment. When Carmen first implemented this hidden truth, her life didn't change overnight. But on day 19, something shifted. An old colleague contacted her about a business opportunity she would have previously dismissed as impossible. 3 days later, she received an unexpected refund from a government office that had overcharged her years before. Small shifts at first, but they represented a fundamental change in her energetic signature. The impact wasn't just financial. Her entire relationship with possibility had been recalibrated. The journey toward abundance isn't about forcing or struggling. It's about aligning. When you write this number exactly 17 times, no more, no less, you're creating a specific frequency pattern that resonates with the abundance current that already exists all around us. Now, I want to go even deeper into the exact protocol that Carmen followed, because the details matter immensely in this process. Each step contains precise instructions that, when followed exactly, create the perfect conditions for financial breakthroughs. But first, I need to explain why most people get this completely wrong, trying to manifest from a place of lack rather than power. If you're beginning to sense the profound implications of what I'm sharing, write in the comments, "I'm ready to realign." The most critical insight about manifestation that most teachers miss is this: you cannot receive what your energy field is not calibrated to recognize. This is why so many people can practice visualization techniques for years without tangible results. Their internal frequency simply isn't aligned with what they're trying to attract. Think of it like this: your consciousness is similar to a radio receiver. If you're tuned to 98.7 FM, it doesn't matter how loudly or clearly a station is broadcasting on 104.3 FM, you simply won't pick up the signal. This is the hidden truth behind why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others struggle despite doing all the right things. Before you can effectively work with the numerical sequence, you must first recalibrate your internal frequency. This preparatory step is non-negotiable. Without it, writing the numbers becomes merely a mechanical exercise rather than a transformative ritual. The journey toward abundance begins with this fundamental shift in your energetic signature. The first crucial step in this recalibration process is making a powerful declaration. I am the wealth of God in action. This isn't a religious statement, but rather a metaphysical one that acknowledges your connection to the infinite source of all creation. When you speak these words with genuine conviction, you're making a profound energetic declaration to the universe. These words weren't chosen randomly. Each component carries specific vibrational significance. I am connects you to your divine essence and creative power. The wealth specifies exactly what aspect of universal energy you're claiming. Of God links you to the infinite source. In action declares that this wealth isn't theoretical, but manifesting in tangible physical ways through your being. What happens in the moment you make this declaration with authentic feeling is nothing short of remarkable. Your entire energy field begins to realign, shifting from the frequency of lack to the frequency of abundance. It's like adjusting the dial of your consciousness to precisely the station where universal prosperity is broadcasting continuously. Behind the scenes, this declaration serves as an essential mindset catalyst. It bypasses your logical mind and speaks directly to your subconscious, where deep-rooted beliefs about your worthiness to receive abundance reside. The impact of these words, when spoken with conviction, begins dismantling limiting beliefs that have been blocking your natural flow of prosperity. Carmen Rodriguez described feeling an immediate internal shift when she first spoke these words, not just emotionally, but physically, as if something had literally realigned within her body. This sensory experience is common among those who approach this declaration not as a mere affirmation, but as a statement of absolute truth about their essential nature. Now we need to understand exactly how this declaration prepares your consciousness to receive and correctly utilize the numerical code. The declaration acts as a key that unlocks your receptivity to the specific vibrational pattern contained within the numbers. If you're feeling a resonance with this concept of energetic recalibration, type in the comments, "I'm tuning in now." When you speak this declaration, something profound happens. At the energetic level, each syllable creates ripples in the quantum field surrounding you. The vibrational pattern of these specific words acts as a code that reprograms your relationship with universal abundance. This isn't mystical thinking. It's the practical application of quantum principles to your financial reality. Consider the revelation that physicists made decades ago. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Money, opportunities, relationships. These aren't solid, fixed realities, but energetic patterns that respond to and align with your own energetic signature. Each word in this declaration sends a specific signal to the universe that you're consciously choosing to reject the frequency of lack and fully embrace the frequency of unlimited prosperity. The transformation begins the moment you truly feel the weight and power of these words, not as a hope or wish, but as an acknowledgement of what already is. You're not asking the universe for abundance. You're declaring your natural state of being as an extension of infinite supply. This subtle shift makes all the difference in the world. To understand just how powerful this approach can be, let me share the journey of Carmen Rodriguez from Caracas, Venezuela. The year was 1968, and Carmen's life looked nothing like the life she had once imagined for herself. At 43, she worked as a secretary in a small law firm, earning barely enough to cover her basic expenses. Her tiny apartment smelled perpetually of mildew, and the constant anxiety about next month's rent had become her most faithful companion. Behind the scenes of her carefully maintained professional appearance was a woman drowning in debt and desperation. She had tried everything, working overtime, cutting expenses to the bone, even attempting small side businesses that inevitably failed. The cycle of lack seemed unbreakable, a prison she had somehow built around herself without knowing how to find the key. What made Carmen's situation particularly painful was the contrast with her earlier dreams. As a young woman, she had imagined a life of purpose and prosperity. But somewhere along the way, those visions had faded, replaced by the dull monotony of survival. The spark in her eyes had dimmed, and her once vibrant energy had been replaced by resignation. On a humid Tuesday evening in July, with nothing better to do and nowhere else to go, Carmen found herself sitting in the back row of a small community theater where a woman named Connie Mendez was giving a lecture on metaphysics. She hadn't come looking for answers. At that point, she had stopped believing answers existed. She had simply wanted somewhere to be that wasn't her cramped apartment. What she heard that evening would fundamentally alter the course of her existence, not through inspiration or motivation, but through a specific, actionable protocol that addressed the root cause of financial struggle, an energetic misalignment with the natural state of abundance that is everyone's birthright. If you recognize yourself in any part of Carmen's story, the disappointment, the struggle, the feeling that prosperity is for others but not for you, type in the comments, "I'm ready for my breakthrough too." As Carmen sat in that theater, She represented millions of people trapped in the same cycle of financial anxiety. What most don't realize is how deeply this constant worry reshapes our very biology. Each morning, Carmen would wake with a knot in her stomach, her body flooded with stress hormones before she even opened her eyes. This persistent state of alarm had literally rewired her nervous system, making it impossible to access the parts of her brain associated with creativity, opportunity recognition, and strategic thinking. The psychological impact of financial struggle extends far beyond simple worry. It creates a pervasive shadow that colors every experience, every relationship, every moment. For Carmen, even simple pleasures like enjoying a cup of coffee on her small balcony became tainted with calculations about what that coffee cost and whether she could really afford such luxuries. This constant internal accounting created a prison more confining than any physical walls. The revelation that would transform Carmen's journey began when Connie Mendez took the stage that evening. Unlike most speakers on financial topics, Connie didn't begin with budgeting tips or investment strategies. Instead, she spoke about a hidden reality that exists beyond the visible world, a reality governed not by the physical laws we learn in school, but by the principles of vibration and frequency. Everything in the universe, Connie explained, is energy in motion. What appears solid is actually vibrating at specific frequencies. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs. These aren't abstract concepts, but actual energetic patterns that interact with the field of infinite possibility surrounding us at all times. This is just one of many hidden manifestation techniques I share on this channel. If you're ready to go deeper into these prosperity teachings, hit subscribe and become part of our awakened community. Don't miss a single revelation that could change your financial future forever. This perspective represented a radical departure from conventional wisdom. While most financial experts focus on external actions, earn more, spend less, invest wisely, Connie was addressing the root cause of financial struggle, an energetic misalignment with the natural state of abundance that permeates the universe. The hidden truth that Connie revealed was that prosperity isn't something we achieve through struggle and sacrifice. It's our natural state, one that we've been trained to disconnect from through generations of scarcity programming. What looks like financial success is actually just a return to our natural relationship with universal supply. For Carmen, sitting in that audience, these ideas initially seemed abstract and far removed from her practical problems. But as Connie continued, explaining how specific vibrational patterns could be intentionally generated to align with prosperity consciousness, something deep within Carmen began to stir, a recognition that transcended her logical mind. The most powerful insight came when Connie explained that the universe operates according to precise mathematical principles. Just as music creates harmony or dissonance through specific numerical relationships between notes, our relationship with prosperity is governed by numerical patterns that either support or inhibit the flow of abundance into our lives. What happened next would provide Carmen with a specific tool, one that would permanently alter her relationship with money and opportunity in ways she couldn't yet imagine. If this concept of reality as responsive to vibrational frequency resonates with you, write in the comments. Vibration is everything. The atmosphere in the theater shifted noticeably when Connie lowered her voice and leaned toward the audience. What I'm about to share with you now, she said, isn't something you'll find in any of my published books or articles. The audience, including Carmen, instinctively leaned forward. There's something primally compelling about being offered hidden knowledge, information reserved for those who have found their way to exactly the right place at exactly the right time. Connie called it the number that rains money, a specific numerical sequence that, when used correctly, creates a direct energetic channel between your consciousness and the universal flow of abundance. This wasn't just another manifestation technique. It was a revelation of the underlying mathematical code that governs prosperity itself. The exclusivity of this information created an electric current of anticipation in the room. Here was something that couldn't be found through conventional research or education. A powerful tool being transmitted directly from teacher to student, preserving the integrity of ancient wisdom while applying it to modern financial challenges. The universe, Connie explained, isn't the chaotic system that modern science often portrays. It's divine mathematics, precise, intentional, and responsive to those who understand its fundamental equations. This perspective offered a profound reframing of reality itself. Rather than seeing the world as random or arbitrary, Connie presented a coherent cosmological framework where everything unfolds according to exact mathematical principles. Through her decades of metaphysical study with teachers across various traditions, Connie had discovered something remarkable: the specific frequency that creates perfect resonance with material manifestation. Just as a tuning fork vibrating at 440 Hz will cause another tuning fork of the same frequency to vibrate in response, this numerical sequence creates a vibrational pattern that the universe itself must respond to. The hidden truth behind this discovery is that abundance isn't something we need to fight for or struggle to obtain. It's the natural state of a universe built on principles of expansion and growth. The only barrier between us and unlimited prosperity is our own vibrational misalignment with these fundamental patterns. The number that Connie was about to reveal served as a precise recalibration tool, a way to adjust our personal frequency to match the frequency of abundance itself. What makes this approach fundamentally different from conventional financial strategies is that it addresses the root cause rather than symptoms. Most people spend their lives trying to manipulate external circumstances, working harder, networking more, investing strategically, without addressing the internal energetic patterns that are actually determining which opportunities and resources flow into their experience. For Carmen, this perspective represented a complete paradigm shift. After years of focusing exclusively on external actions and seeing minimal results, she was now being offered a tool that would transform her relationship with prosperity from the inside out. The revelation that prosperity operates according to specific mathematical principles made perfect sense to her analytical mind, offering a framework that was both mystical and logical. As Connie prepared to reveal the specific number she had discovered, Carmen felt a strange certainty taking root within her, a knowing that transcended her usual skepticism. If you're feeling that same intuitive recognition that there's a mathematical order underlying our experience of abundance, type in the comments, "The code makes sense." The number, Connie revealed with reverence in her voice, is 529. The simplicity of it created a momentary confusion in the audience. Could something so ordinary-looking really hold such transformative power? But as Connie began to explain the origins and significance of this specific sequence, the profound elegance of it became apparent. This wasn't just a random number that Connie had invented or discovered through trial and error. It was a cosmic blueprint for creation, a mathematical code that had existed throughout human history but had been obscured, hidden within esoteric texts and ancient wisdom traditions. What made Connie's contribution so remarkable was her ability to decode this numerical sequence for practical application in modern life. The revelations she shared that evening came from decades of studying with metaphysical masters across multiple traditions: Kabbalah, Hermetic philosophy, ancient Egyptian mathematics, and quantum physics. In each tradition, she found fragments of the same fundamental truth, that specific numerical sequences create vibrational patterns that directly influence our material reality. This number isn't arbitrary, Connie explained. It's a precise formula composed of 3 divine principles that, when combined, create a powerful manifestation command to the universe. The deeper significance of 529 lies in understanding the individual components and how they interact to create an unstoppable momentum toward prosperity. The journey to understanding begins when we recognize that numbers aren't just quantities. They're living energetic forces with specific qualities and influences. Each number carries a unique vibrational signature that interacts with our consciousness and the field. of infinite possibility surrounding us at all times. Behind the scenes of our visible reality, these numerical vibrations are constantly shaping what opportunities, resources, and circumstances flow into our experience. Most people remain unconscious of these influences, allowing random numerical patterns to determine their financial reality rather than intentionally working with specific sequences for desired outcomes. The transformation that 529 creates comes from its unique mathematical structure. It's not just a sequence of random digits, but a carefully calibrated formula where each component amplifies and completes the others, creating a harmonic resonance with the universal abundance frequency. This integration of ancient wisdom with modern understanding created a powerful paradigm shift for Carmen. She had always thought of numbers as abstract, neutral symbols used for counting and calculating. Now she was being introduced to the hidden dimension of numbers, their spiritual essence and creative power. The secret that Connie revealed was that specific numbers don't just describe reality, they actively create it. By working with 529 in a precisely prescribed manner, anyone could establish direct communication with the universal intelligence that governs material manifestation. This wasn't about asking or pleading for prosperity. It was about activating an already existing mathematical principle that makes prosperity inevitable. For Carmen, the moment was electric. After years of struggling with conventional approaches to financial improvement, she was being offered a completely different pathway, one that addressed the root causes of lack rather than just the symptoms. The impact of this revelation went far beyond intellectual curiosity. It struck her at the core of her being with a profound recognition. If you're feeling that same intuitive recognition, that sense that we've been looking at money from the wrong angle all along, type in the comments. 529 is the key. To understand the profound power of this numerical sequence, we need to break down each component and see how they work together to create an unstoppable command to the universe. Let's begin with the first digit, 5. In metaphysical traditions across cultures, the number 5 represents divine will and action. It's the number of transformation, freedom, and adaptability. Think about it. We have 5 fingers on each hand, the primary instruments through which we create and interact with the physical world. 5 senses through which we experience reality. The pentagram, a 5-pointed star, has been used throughout history as a symbol of divine protection and manifestation. But in 529, we're not just working with the number 5. We're working with 5 multiplied by 100, creating 500 as the first component of our prosperity formula. This multiplication is crucial to understanding the power of this sequence. When we multiply a number by 100, we're amplifying its essence and commanding full manifestation in the physical world. The hidden truth is that 500 represents the absolute command for a divine idea to fully materialize in your physical reality. It's like sending a crystal-clear directive to the universal factory floor, stating exactly what blueprint should be manufactured and delivered to your life experience. This isn't a request or a hope. It's a definitive instruction from your divine authority. Moving to the second component of our sequence, we encounter the number 2. Throughout wisdom traditions, 2 symbolizes duality, partnership, and the harmonious balance of opposites. It represents the essential relationship between you and the universal forces that co-create your reality. Think of it as the perfect dance between your conscious intention and the responding creative force of the universe. In 529, this 2 is multiplied by 10, creating 20 as our second component. The multiplication by 10 signifies infinite expansion of this cooperative relationship. It ensures that what you're creating isn't just a one-time manifestation, but an ongoing, ever-expanding flow of abundance that continues to grow through the powerful partnership you've established. The revelation here is that 20 encodes the perfect collaborative relationship between your focused intention and the universe's manifestation power. It creates a self-reinforcing cycle where each successful manifestation strengthens your connection to the abundance current, making subsequent manifestations even more powerful and immediate. When Carmen first heard this explanation, she experienced what she later described as a total perspective transformation. After years of seeing herself as separate from and at the mercy of external economic forces, she suddenly understood that she was an essential part of the prosperity equation. Her consciousness wasn't just observing reality, it was actively participating in creating it through this divine partnership. The Idasa journey toward abundance began to feel less like a desperate struggle against opposing forces and more like aligning with a natural current that was already flowing. The impact of this shift went beyond her financial situation, touching every aspect of her identity and self-perception. Now, the power of these first two components, divine command, 500, and infinite partnership, 20, creates a foundation for the third element, which completes this cosmic manifestation formula. If you're beginning to see how these universal principles might have been operating in your life all along, type in the comments, "I see the pattern now." The final component of this powerful sequence is the number 9. In numerological systems across ancient cultures, 9 represents completion, fulfillment, and universal reward. It's the highest single digit, symbolizing wisdom, spiritual enlightenment, and the culmination of a cycle. When we reach 9, we've come full circle in our journey through the numerical universe. What makes 9 so uniquely powerful is its self-referential nature. If you multiply 9 by any number and add the digits of the result together, you'll always return to 9. Try it. 9 3 try 27, 2 plus 7, 9. Or 9 7 4 6 3, 6 plus 3 minus 9. This mathematical property reveals a profound truth. 9 always returns to itself, symbolizing the perfect closed loop of creation and manifestation. In the sequence 529, this 9 serves as the essential connector that brings the entire manifestation process back to you as the divine co-creator. It ensures that what you're calling into your experience isn't just random prosperity, but precisely the form of abundance that resonates with your unique purpose and highest good. The revelation here is that 9 creates the perfect seal on your manifestation command, ensuring that what flows to you is complete, harmonious, and aligned with your true nature. It's like signing your name to a cosmic contract, claiming personal ownership of the abundance you're calling forth. When these 3 components, 520 and 9, combine to form 529, something remarkable happens. You're no longer just working with separate numerical energies, but with an integrated formula that creates a specific vibrational signature in the universe. This signature is immediately recognized by the cosmic forces that govern manifestation. Every time you write or speak 529 with conscious intention, you're issuing a multi-layered command to the universe. You're saying, "I command the Yi, manifestation of abundance, 500, through my divine partnership with universal forces, 20, and I claim this prosperity as the perfect expression of my highest good, 9. The transformation that occurs when you begin working with this number is both subtle and profound. You're not just asking for more money or hoping for financial improvement. You're fundamentally recalibrating your relationship with universal abundance. You're stepping into your rightful position as a conscious participant in the flow of prosperity, rather than a helpless observer of economic forces beyond your control. Behind the scenes of your visible reality, this numerical vibration begins reorganizing the energetic patterns that determine which opportunities, resources, and synchronicities flow into your experience. Like a master key that unlocks previously inaccessible dimensions of abundance, 529 opens channels that may have been blocked for years or even decades. For Carmen, the impact of working with this numerical sequence went far beyond the financial improvements she eventually experienced. The most immediate change was in her perception of herself and her relationship with prosperity. After years of feeling powerless and victimized by economic circumstances, she suddenly recognized her own creative authority in the manifestation process. Now I want to explain exactly how Connie instructed her audience to work with this number. Because simply knowing 529 isn't enough, the method of application is equally important for activating its full potential. This is where most people miss the crucial elements that transform a simple numeric sequence into a life-changing tool for prosperity consciousness. If you're feeling a resonance with this numerical formula and its potential to transform your relationship with abundance, type in the comments, 529 is activating my prosperity. The specific number of repetitions is where many people miss the crucial energetic alignment that makes this method so powerful. Connie was adamant that 529 must be written exactly 17 times, no more, no less. This precision isn't arbitrary, but mathematically significant in profound ways that most prosperity teachers have never understood. When we add 1 plus 7, we get 8, the number of infinity and abundance in numerous spiritual traditions. Visually, the number 8 even resembles the infinity symbol turned vertically. In Chinese culture, 8 is considered the luckiest number specifically because of its associations with prosperity and endless good fortune. This isn't coincidental, but reflects a universal truth about this number's vibrational signature. The revelation here is that by writing 529 exactly 17 times, you're activating the infinite abundance frequency, 8, while encoding your manifestation with the specific prosperity blueprint, 529. This creates an unbreakable cycle where your initial manifestations generate momentum for even greater abundance, establishing a self-perpetuating spiral of prosperity. Behind the scenes of this numerical repetition, something remarkable happens in your neurological patterning. The act of writing the same sequence 17 times creates new neural pathways that begin to override your previous scarcity programming. Your brain literally begins to reorganize itself around this new abundance frequency, making prosperity your default expectation rather than a surprising exception. For Carmen Rodriguez, this understanding created a moment of decision. Sitting in that audience, hearing Connie's explanation, she faced a choice that would define her financial future: continue with the conventional approaches that had failed her for decades, or embrace this alternative pathway with complete commitment. The transformation began when she chose to follow the ritual with the devotion of someone with nothing left to lose. There was no half-hearted experimentation, no skeptical trying it out to see what might happen. She approached the practice with the same seriousness and dedication she would give to any crucial medical treatment or life-saving protocol. The impact of this wholehearted commitment cannot be overstated. When Carmen implemented the numerical sequence exactly as instructed, she wasn't just performing a mechanical exercise. She was engaging in a profound, energetic recalibration that addressed the root cause of her financial struggles. The journey wasn't instantaneous. The first few days after beginning the practice, Carmen noticed subtle shifts in her perception and awareness. Opportunities she would have previously overlooked suddenly became visible. Solutions to problems that had seemed insurmountable began to present themselves with surprising clarity. By the second week, these internal shifts began manifesting as external changes. An unexpected refund arrived from a utility company that had overcharged her. A former colleague contacted her about a part-time project that perfectly matched her skills. Small synchronicities began occurring with increasing frequency, each one strengthening her connection to the abundance current she had activated. Now I want to walk you through the exact protocol that Carmen followed, the precise method that Connie taught that evening in Caracas. Because the power lies not just in knowing the number 529, but in how you work with it to create a direct channel between your consciousness and the universal abundance frequency. If you're ready to follow this same pathway to prosperity consciousness that transformed Carmen's life, type in the comments, "I'm following the protocol." The protocol that Connie shared that evening wasn't just a casual suggestion or a general practice to be adapted according to personal preference. It was a precise science with specific parameters that activate particular energetic responses in both your consciousness and the universal field. Each detail of the ritual carries metaphysical significance that contributes to its transformative power. When working with universal laws, precision matters tremendously. Think of it like a combination lock. Being close to the right numbers isn't enough. The exact sequence in the exact order is what creates the opening. Similarly, each element of this prosperity protocol has been calibrated to create a specific vibrational signature that resonates with the abundance frequency. The hidden truth that most manifestation teachers miss is that the universe responds to precise instructions, not vague intentions. When you understand the exact science behind energetic recalibration, you realize that details that might seem arbitrary or insignificant are actually crucial components of the energetic equation. The journey begins with the very first step, which must be taken at a specific time and with specific materials. Upon waking, before checking your phone or engaging with any digital distractions, you must find a clean, unmarked sheet of white paper. This timing is crucial because your mind exists in a unique state during the first moments of consciousness, a liminal space between your subconscious and conscious awareness where programming is most effective. The significance of using white paper goes far beyond practical considerations. White represents pure potential in metaphysical traditions, the blank canvas upon which any reality can be created. It symbolizes the field of infinite possibility that exists before manifestation occurs. By using clean, unmarked paper, you're literally creating a pristine energetic space for your new prosperity consciousness to take root. Behind the scenes of this seemingly simple instruction is a profound understanding of how consciousness interfaces with physical reality. The paper serves as more than just a writing surface. It becomes a tangible anchor for the vibrational pattern you're establishing. It creates a bridge between the invisible realm of intention and the visible world of manifestation. The transformation begins in this very first step as you make the conscious decision to prioritize this practice before allowing the world's energies to influence your state. By choosing to work with the abundance frequency before checking emails, reading news, or scrolling through social media, you're declaring to the universe that prosperity consciousness is your primary focus rather than an afterthought. For Carmen, this initial step represented a significant mindset shift. Prior to learning this protocol, her mornings had begun with worry and anxiety about financial pressures. By replacing that pattern with a focused prosperity practice, she created a fundamentally different energetic foundation for each day. The impact of this simple change extends far beyond the few minutes spent on the practice. It establishes a primary vibrational set point that influences every subsequent thought, decision, and interaction throughout your day. Instead of trying to overcome negative financial energy that's been building since waking, you're working from an established baseline of abundance consciousness. Now, once you have your clean white paper ready, there's a specific writing instrument you must use, one that carries its own symbolic and energetic significance in this prosperity protocol. This next element creates another layer of precise vibrational alignment with the abundance frequency. If you're beginning to recognize how these seemingly small details create a powerful, cumulative effect in prosperity consciousness, write in the comments, every detail matters. For this ritual, Connie was specific about using a pen with blue or black ink, never pencil, never red, or other colors. This isn't an arbitrary preference, but connects to the universal language of energy, where different colors carry distinct vibrational signatures. Blue and black represent authority, permanence, and substance in this energetic lexicon. The revelation here is that color itself is a vibrational frequency that interacts with the prosperity formula you're establishing. Blue ink resonates with truth, trust, and stability, qualities essential for sustainable wealth. Black ink carries the energy of protection, power, and absolute certainty. Either color creates the proper energetic foundation for your prosperity command. Behind the scenes of this color selection is an understanding of how visual frequencies interact with intention. When light reflects off blue or black ink and enters your visual cortex, it creates specific neurological responses that support the prosperity vibration you're establishing. This subtle influence reinforces your conscious intention at a level beyond rational thought. The transformation begins as you make this deliberate choice of writing instrument. You're not just preparing to write, you're selecting a specific frequency to amplify your prosperity command. This level of intentionality sends a clear signal to both your subconscious mind and the universal field that this isn't a casual exercise, but a precise energetic operation. With your white paper and blue or black pen prepared, the next crucial step is creating a personal energetic signature that anchors your intention in specific coordinates of time and space. At the top of the paper, you must write today's complete date, month, day, and year, followed by your full legal name. The significance of this step goes far beyond simple identification. You're establishing exactly who is issuing this prosperity command and exactly when it's being initiated. This creates a unique energetic timestamp that distinguishes your intention from all others being sent into the universal field. The hidden truth is that the universe responds to specificity, not generality. By anchoring your prosperity command with precise temporal and personal coordinates, you're creating a clear channel for manifestation that connects directly to your individual energy signature. This is similar to addressing an envelope with exact information to ensure delivery to the correct recipient. For Carmen, this step represented a profound claiming of her creative authority. By writing her full legal name, Carmen Maria Rodriguez, she was declaring her divine right to prosperity and abundance. After years of feeling insignificant and overlooked by the forces of fortune, she was now asserting her presence and power in the universal system. The impact of this simple act of claiming extends far beyond the ritual itself. It begins reshaping your fundamental relationship with abundance by establishing you as an active, authorized participant in the prosperity equation rather than a passive recipient hoping to be noticed by random economic forces. What makes this approach fundamentally different from conventional manifestation techniques is this precise energetic targeting. Rather than sending general hopes for more money into the universe, you're establishing an exact vibrational signature that connects this specific prosperity command to your unique energetic identity. Now, with your personal identifier established, the next step creates the essential activation key that begins the transformation of your prosperity consciousness. This declaration serves as the ignition switch that powers the entire manifestation engine. If you're beginning to see how each element builds upon the previous one to create a complete system of energetic transformation, type in the comments. The system is complete. Directly beneath your name, you must write the specific activation phrase that Connie revealed. I am the wealth of God in action. Within me is the power to attract what I need and more. These aren't random words, but a precisely calibrated affirmation that creates the essential mindset foundation for the numerical work that follows. The revelation in this declaration is the acknowledgement of your divine creative authority. By stating, I am the wealth of God in action, you're recognizing that abundance isn't something external that you're trying to attract. It's an expression of your essential nature as a divine being. This fundamental identity shift transforms your entire relationship with prosperity. Behind the scenes of this seemingly simple phrase is a powerful reprogramming of your subconscious beliefs. Most people operate from deeply embedded scarcity programming that creates an energetic resistance to abundance. This declaration directly counters those limiting beliefs, establishing a new core identity as someone who embodies divine wealth. The transformation begins the moment you write these words with genuine feeling and recognition. You're not just making a hopeful statement about what you want to become. You're acknowledging what you already are at the deepest level. This distinction makes all the difference in how the universe responds to your prosperity command. For Carmen, writing this declaration created an immediate shift in her emotional state. After years of seeing herself as financially limited and unworthy of abundance, she was now claiming her divine right to prosperity. The impact was both subtle and profound. a realignment at the core of her being that would ultimately transform her external reality. Now comes the central practice that activates the prosperity frequency, creating a sacred geometric pattern with the number 529. Connie was explicit that this number must be written exactly 17 times in a specific arrangement on the page. The pattern itself carries energetic significance that amplifies the power of the numerical sequence. The hidden truth is that sacred geometry, the arrangement of forms and numbers in specific patterns, creates energetic templates that the universe recognizes and responds to. By writing 529 in a balanced grid pattern, you're establishing a harmonious mathematical structure that resonates with the universal abundance frequency. The specific arrangement Connie taught was to create a balanced grid with the numbers, typically arranged in rows with equal spacing between each repetition of 529. This creates a visually and energetically balanced pattern that maximizes the manifestation power of the sequence. What makes this approach fundamentally different from random repetition is the intentional creation of mathematical harmony on the page. This geometric precision speaks directly to the mathematical intelligence of the universe, establishing a clear resonance between your intention and the cosmic forces that govern manifestation. For Carmen, the process of carefully writing these numbers in a precise arrangement became a meditation in itself. With each repetition of 529, she felt a deepening connection to the prosperity consciousness she was establishing. The journey from skepticism to belief happened gradually with each number she wrote. Now I want to explain the most crucial aspect of this entire protocol: the specific consciousness you must maintain while writing each digit. Because without this essential element, the numerical pattern becomes merely ink on paper rather than a living conduit for prosperity. If you're beginning to appreciate the mathematical precision behind this prosperity protocol, type in the comments. Sacred geometry activates abundance. The specific arrangement of these numbers creates what metaphysicians call an energy grid, a geometric pattern that establishes a harmonious mathematical relationship between each repetition of 529. Connie recommended creating a grid with clean, balanced spacing, typically 3 or 4 numbers per row, creating a rectangle of perfectly aligned digits. This spatial organization isn't merely aesthetic, but fundamentally energetic. Each repetition of 529 creates a node of prosperity consciousness, and the relationship between these nodes establishes energy channels that amplify the collective power of the sequence. Think of it like creating a crystal lattice structure where each point strengthens and reinforces the others. The revelation here is that the visual pattern you create becomes a physical representation of the energetic template you're establishing in the universal field. The harmony and balance you create on paper directly influences the harmony and balance of the prosperity that flows into your life experience. Behind the scenes of this geometric arrangement is a profound understanding of how energy responds to mathematical structure. Throughout nature, we see this principle at work, from the precise hexagonal pattern of honeycomb to the golden spiral of a nautilus shell. These aren't random formations, but expressions of mathematical principles that maximize efficiency and stability. The transformation begins as you consciously create this balanced pattern on the page. You're not just writing numbers, you're establishing an energetic architecture that will literally restructure your relationship with prosperity. This level of intentional design speaks directly to the organizing intelligence of the universe. Now we come to what Connie described as the absolute key to this entire practice: the consciousness you maintain while writing each digit. This is where most people fail in prosperity rituals. They perform the external actions without the internal state that activates the process. As you write each digit in the sequence 529, you must feel its unique vibrational signature. Don't just mechanically form the numbers on the page. Consciously connect with the specific energy each digit represents. Feel the creative command of 5, the divine partnership of 2, and the completion and fulfillment of 9 with each stroke of your pen. The hidden truth is that your emotional and energetic engagement is the activation key for this entire process. The universe doesn't respond to empty ritual or mechanical repetition. It responds to the vibration you generate while performing the ritual. This vibration is created through your focused attention, clear intention, and emotional connection to the process. For Carmen, this was the most challenging yet transformative aspect of the practice. After initially approaching it as just another technique to try, she realized that her half-hearted engagement was producing minimal results. The journey toward abundance accelerated dramatically when she began writing each number with complete presence and emotional connection. The impact of this conscious engagement extends far beyond the ritual itself. By practicing this level of presence and intentionality in your prosperity work, you're developing neural pathways and energetic patterns that begin to influence all aspects of your relationship with abundance. Now I want to explain the essential visualization that must accompany this writing practice, the mental imagery that completes the energetic circuit and ensures that your prosperity command reaches its destination in the universal field. If you're beginning to understand the crucial difference between empty ritual and conscious energetic engagement, type in the comments. Feeling is the secret. The energetic engagement with each digit creates a multi-dimensional connection to the prosperity frequency. As you form the number 5 on the page, feel the powerful creative spark it represents, the divine will that initiates all manifestation. Each time you write this number, experience the sensation of active, purposeful energy flowing through your hand and onto the paper. This isn't abstract. Practitioners often report feeling a subtle warmth or tingling as they connect with this creative force. When you write the number 2, consciously engage with its cooperative essence, the perfect partnership between your intention and universal forces. Feel the balanced harmony this number represents, the dance of duality that creates the expansion of abundance. Many describe this as a sense of opening or receptivity, like channels widening to allow greater flow. With each inscription of the number 9, experience the satisfaction of completion and fulfillment. This digit represents the perfect circle of manifestation, returning to its source, you. As you form this number, feel the profound sense of gratitude and accomplishment that accompanies the full manifestation of your prosperity consciousness. The journey through this sequence, with each repetition, creates a progressively deeper alignment with the abundance frequency. This intentional engagement transforms what could be a mechanical exercise into a powerful meditative practice that literally rewires your relationship with prosperity at the neurological and energetic levels. Simultaneously with this numeric focus, you must maintain a specific visualization that completes the manifestation circuit. As your hand forms each sequence of 529, see in your mind's eye money and resources flowing to you from unexpected directions and sources. Don't limit this visualization to conventional channels like salary, increases, or investments. Expand your awareness to include paths of abundance you haven't even conceived of yet. The revelation here is that the most powerful manifestations often arrive through channels we could never have predicted or planned for. By keeping your visualization open to unexpected sources, you're instructing the universal intelligence to find the path of least resistance for abundance to reach you, rather than limiting it to the few avenues you can currently imagine. Behind the scenes of this visualization process, you're creating new neural pathways that allow you to recognize opportunities that were always present but previously invisible to your consciousness. The transformation isn't just in your external circumstances, but in your fundamental ability to perceive abundance where others see only limitation. Most importantly, as you visualize this flow of prosperity, you must simultaneously feel the emotional freedom that this abundance brings. Not just the abstract concept of having more money, but the visceral sensation of liberation, possibility, and expansion that accompanies true financial freedom. This emotional component is the activating force that brings your prosperity command to life. For Carmen, this combined practice of numeric connection and visualization created a profound shift in her energetic signature. Each morning as she performed the ritual, she could feel her consciousness expanding beyond the cramped limitations of scarcity, thinking into the spacious possibility of abundance consciousness. Now I want to share the specific mental chant that Connie taught as the final component of this prosperity activation, the internal mantra that directs your subconscious mind toward recognizing the unexpected channels through which abundance will flow to you. If you're feeling the power of this multisensory engagement with the prosperity frequency, type in the comments. I can feel the flow beginning. As you write each sequence of 529, maintain a specific mental chant that directs your subconscious mind toward receptivity and openness. Silently repeat, unexpected doors open, unforeseen channels appear freely with each repetition of the numerical sequence. This isn't just a positive affirmation, but a precise instruction to your deeper mind about where to focus its pattern recognition capabilities. The revelation in this mental mantra is its emphasis on unexpected and unforeseen paths to prosperity. Most people remain fixated on conventional routes to financial improvement, raises, promotions, better investments, while remaining blind to the countless unconventional channels through which abundance can flow. This chant specifically directs your awareness toward these non-obvious opportunities. Behind the scenes of this internal dialogue is a profound reprogramming of your reticular activating system, the part of your brain responsible for determining what information reaches your conscious awareness. By repeatedly focusing on unexpected doors and unforeseen channels, you're literally training your perception to recognize opportunities that would have previously remained invisible to you. The transformation begins as this mental directive takes root in your subconscious. You'll start noticing subtle shifts in your awareness, casual conversations that reveal unexpected opportunities, overlooked resources suddenly becoming visible, synchronicities that lead to prosperity appearing with increasing frequency. For Carmen, this mental programming created what she later described as prosperity vision, an enhanced ability to perceive abundance where others saw only limitation. Ideas and opportunities that had always existed in her environment suddenly became visible once her mind was programmed to recognize them. Once you've completed writing 529 17 times with full consciousness and proper visualization, you arrive at the final step that seals and activates the entire process. Fold the paper precisely into 4 equal sections, creating clean, sharp creases. This quartering of the paper isn't arbitrary, but represents the 4 cardinal directions, signifying that abundance can flow to you from all points of the universe. The hidden truth is that this folded paper now serves as a physical anchor for the prosperity frequency you've established. By carrying it with you in your wallet or purse for exactly 19 days, you maintain constant energetic connection with the abundance vibration you've activated. The paper literally becomes a prosperity talisman, a physical object charged with specific intentional energy. What makes this approach fundamentally different from temporary visualization or affirmation practices is this creation of a persistent energetic field that works continuously, whether you're consciously focusing on prosperity or not. The charged paper maintains the vibrational connection 24 hours a day for the full 19-day period required for complete energetic recalibration. The journey through these 19 days represents a complete cycle of prosperity, consciousness integration. During this period, the new vibrational pattern becomes progressively embedded in both your energetic field and your neurological pathways, creating a new default setting for your relationship with abundance. Now I want to address the most crucial aspect of this entire process, the specific consciousness you must maintain throughout these 19 days to ensure optimal results from this prosperity protocol. Because the way you engage with this practice energetically determines everything about the results you'll experience. If you're ready to implement this complete prosperity protocol in your life, type in the comments, I'm activating 529 now. The 19-day period that Connie specified isn't arbitrary, but corresponds to a complete neurological and energetic reprogramming cycle. Science has shown that new Neural pathways begin forming immediately with focused attention, but require consistent reinforcement to become established patterns. This 19-day window provides exactly the time frame needed for your prosperity consciousness to shift from a deliberate practice to an automatic state. During this period, something remarkable happens in your subconscious mind. The new prosperity frequency begins systematically replacing old scarcity programming that may have been operating undetected for decades. This isn't just a psychological shift, but a fundamental rewiring of your relationship with abundance at the energetic level. The revelation here is that transformation requires both time and consistency. Many people abandon powerful practices before they've had sufficient time to create lasting change. By committing to the full 19-day cycle, you're ensuring that your new prosperity consciousness has the opportunity to fully integrate and become your default state. Behind the scenes of this process is the gradual recalibration of your entire energetic signature. During the first week, you may notice subtle shifts in perception, new awareness of opportunities or resources you hadn't previously recognized. By the second week, these internal changes often begin manifesting as external synchronicities and unexpected openings. The third week typically brings more tangible evidence of your energetic transformation. Now, I must address the single most common reason why people sometimes practice this protocol without experiencing the full breakthrough that Carmen and countless others have witnessed. The fatal flaw that neutralizes the entire process is performing the ritual with an empty heart or doubt-filled mind. Think of it like this. The number 529 is like a phone number to the cosmic forces that govern prosperity. Your emotional state while performing the ritual is the send button. If you write the numbers mechanically while your mind is filled with doubt, skepticism, or emptiness, it's like dialing the number without ever pressing send. The call never goes through. The journey toward prosperity consciousness requires emotional authenticity. The universe doesn't respond to empty words or mechanical actions, but to the vibrational signature created by your genuine feeling state. When you write those numbers with absolute certainty, profound gratitude, and joyful expectation, you're generating the precise frequency that activates the prosperity response. For Carmen, this understanding was transformative. Her initial attempts at the protocol had been performed with desperate hope rather than confident certainty. The shift in her results came when she began approaching the practice not as a broke person begging for money, but as a divine being claiming the abundance that was already rightfully hers. The impact of this subtle shift in consciousness cannot be overstated. It literally determines whether you're operating as a creator of your financial reality or a victim of external circumstances. The distinction isn't philosophical, but practical. It determines everything about your results. Now I want to examine exactly what happened in Carmen's life during and after her 19-day prosperity activation, because her journey reveals the typical pattern of transformation that occurs when this protocol is implemented with proper consciousness. If you recognize the crucial importance of emotional alignment in this process, type in the comments, "My heart is fully engaged." This metaphor perfectly captures the essence of working with numerical frequencies. Think of 529 as a direct phone number to the cosmic forces that govern abundance. You can dial this number perfectly, writing it with precision 17 times in the exact pattern. But if you don't press send, the call never connects. Your emotional state is that send button. When you perform this ritual with doubt, skepticism, or mechanical emptiness, it's like carefully dialing a number and then setting the phone down without completing the call. The technical precision means nothing without the energetic activation that comes from your genuine emotional engagement. The hidden truth that Connie revealed to Carmen that evening was that our emotional state isn't just a byproduct of our circumstances, but the causal force that creates them. Most people have this backward. They believe they'll feel abundant once they have more money. The revelation is that you must generate the feeling of abundance first, and that vibration then attracts corresponding circumstances. Behind the scenes of manifestation is this fundamental principle. The universe responds not to your words, thoughts, or actions, but to the vibrational frequency you're emitting. This frequency is determined primarily by your emotional state. When you perform the 529 ritual while feeling grateful, certain, and joyful about your prosperity, you're emitting the precise vibrational signature that activates the abundance response. The transformation begins when you make this crucial shift from performing prosperity rituals with desperate hope to engaging with them from a state of absolute certainty. This isn't pretending or fake it till you make it. It's recognizing a metaphysical truth. At your core, you are already connected to infinite abundance. The ritual isn't creating something new, but removing the blocks to what already exists. For Carmen, this understanding created a profound paradigm shift in her approach. Rather than writing 529 as a broke person begging for financial relief, she began engaging with the practice as a divine being commanding what was already rightfully hers. The journey from poverty consciousness to prosperity consciousness happened first internally, creating the energetic conditions for external change to follow. The impact of this shift was immediate and tangible. Even before external circumstances changed, she experienced a newfound sense of peace and certainty about her financial future. The constant anxiety that had been her companion for decades began dissolving, replaced by a quiet confidence that transcended her visible circumstances. What makes this approach fundamentally different from conventional manifestation techniques is this reversal of the causality most people assume. Rather than waiting for external evidence to change your internal state, you're deliberately generating the internal state that then attracts corresponding external evidence. Think of it like learning to drive. You don't wait until you're moving at 60 miles per hour to turn the steering wheel in the direction you want to go. You turn first, and the movement follows. Similarly, you don't wait until you see abundance to feel abundant. You generate the feeling of abundance first, and the material manifestation follows that energetic direction. Now I want to explore the specific feeling state that Carmen cultivated during her 19-day prosperity. Activation, the exact emotional frequency that transformed her from financially struggling to abundantly prosperous in ways she could never have predicted. If you recognize this fundamental principle of manifestation, that feeling precedes physical manifestation, type in the comments. Feeling leads, reality follows. The most profound shift that made Carmen's practice effective wasn't in her external actions, but in her fundamental identity. When she first learned the protocol, she approached it, as many do, as a person lacking money who was desperately trying to attract more. This perspective created an energetic contradiction that neutralized the power of the practice. You cannot simultaneously hold the vibration of lack while trying to attract abundance. The breakthrough came when she embraced this essential truth. When writing 529, you aren't a person lacking money. You're a divine being commanding energy that is already rightfully yours. This identity transformation is the hidden catalyst that turns the numerical sequence from ink on paper into a powerful conduit for prosperity. The revelation that changed everything for Carmen was recognizing that abundance isn't something external that needs to be begged for or earned, but an expression of her true nature that simply needed to be claimed. When she wrote those numbers from this consciousness, she was no longer asking the universe for help. She was exercising her divine authority as a co-creator of her reality. Behind the scenes of this identity shift was a complete rewiring of her relationship with prosperity. Most people operate from an unconscious belief that they are separate from and subject to external financial forces. The transformative insight is that you are an essential participant in the creation of those forces, not just affected by them, but affecting them through your consciousness. It's important to understand that Carmen's journey toward financial freedom wasn't instantaneous. Many spiritual teachers create unrealistic expectations by promising overnight miracles that leave people disillusioned when immediate transformation doesn't occur. Carmen's experience reflects the more authentic pattern of progressive unfoldment that happens when working with universal laws. During the first week of her 19-day practice, the primary shifts were internal. A new sense of peace about money, decreased anxiety, and subtle changes in how she perceived opportunities. By the second week, she began noticing external synchronicities, unexpected information coming her way, chance encounters with people who would later become important connections, small windfalls that seemed to arrive precisely when needed. The profound wisdom in Carmen's story is understanding that these initial manifestations weren't the end goal, but confirmation that her vibrational realignment was underway. Each small evidence of prosperity reinforced her new identity as someone naturally aligned with abundance, creating an accelerating momentum of positive change. By day 19, her energetic signature had shifted so dramatically that she was literally living in a different relationship with prosperity. The universe responds not to who we were yesterday or who we hope to be tomorrow, but to who we are being energetically right now. Carmen had successfully transformed her being state from scarcity to abundance, and her external reality had no choice but to reflect this new vibration. The decision she made from this new consciousness opened doors that would have remained invisible from her previous perspective. A casual conversation with a former colleague revealed a business opportunity she would have previously dismissed as impossible. An unexpected refund arrived from a utility company that had been overcharging her for years. These weren't random coincidences, but direct responses to her newly aligned prosperity consciousness. Now, I want to share with you the specific manifestations that began appearing in Carmen's life after completing the full 19-day protocol. Tangible evidence that her work with the 529 sequence had fundamentally altered her prosperity blueprint. If you're ready to experience this same identity shift from someone seeking abundance to someone commanding what is already yours, type in the comments, "I claim my divine prosperity." What you now possess is nothing less than an ancient mathematical key that can permanently transform your financial reality. This knowledge has been carefully guarded through generations, shared only in specific contexts with those prepared to receive it. The profound simplicity of this practice, writing 529 17 times with proper consciousness, belies its extraordinary power to recalibrate your entire relationship with prosperity. The decision point you face now is identical to the one Carmen encountered that humid evening in Caracas. Having received this revelation, will you approach it as merely interesting information, or will you engage with it as a transformative protocol that demands your complete commitment? The variable that determines everything about your results isn't the technique itself, that has been proven effective across cultures and decades. The only variable is you. The revelation that changed Carmen's journey is understanding that knowledge without implementation creates no change. Many people collect spiritual and metaphysical techniques like intellectual trophies, prideful of what they know while experiencing no tangible transformation in their lives. The wisdom that separates those who permanently transform their prosperity consciousness from those who remain in lack is simple. Committed action trumps passive knowledge every time. Behind the scenes of every dramatic financial breakthrough is this hidden truth. The universe responds not to what we know intellectually, but to what we embody consistently. When you commit to this 19-day practice with your full presence and emotional engagement, you're making a clear declaration to both your subconscious mind and the universal field that you're ready for a fundamental recalibration of your prosperity frequency. The impact of this decision extends far beyond the specific manifestations that will begin appearing in your life. The deeper transformation occurs in your identity, shifting from someone who feels at the mercy of economic forces to someone who consciously participates in creating their financial reality. This identity shift becomes the foundation for sustainable abundance rather than temporary financial improvement. What makes this approach so powerfully different from conventional financial strategies is that it addresses the causal level of prosperity rather than just symptoms. Most approaches focus exclusively on changing external behaviors, budgeting differently, investing more strategically, working harder, while leaving the underlying energetic patterns completely untouched. The Cow by 529 protocol directly transforms these root patterns that determine which opportunities and resources flow into your experience. I invite you to make this commitment not just intellectually, but with your whole being. For the next 19 days, engage with this prosperity protocol exactly as outlined. Wake each morning and perform the ritual with complete presence and emotional conviction. Carry the folded paper with you throughout the day as a constant energetic reminder of your new relationship with abundance. Watch with mindful awareness as both internal and external shifts begin occurring. When you complete this 19-day recalibration, return to share your journey. Begin your comment with the phrase, 529 brought me, and describe the specific manifestations, synchronicities, and transformations you've experienced. Your testimony will serve as both confirmation of your own shift and inspiration for others who are beginning this same journey toward prosperity consciousness. Now I want to address some specific questions that often arise about this protocol. Clarifications that will ensure you're implementing it with maximum effectiveness and avoiding common pitfalls that can diminish its power. If you're making the commitment to this 19-day prosperity recalibration, type in the comments, "I am all in for 19 days." You've just received something truly precious, not just information, but a transformative tool that has changed countless lives over decades. As you prepare to begin your own 19-day journey with 529, I want you to know that this is just the beginning of what's possible when you understand the mathematical principles that govern prosperity. Each week on this channel, I share these hidden truths that conventional financial education simply doesn't address. The energetic and metaphysical dimensions of abundance that make all the difference between struggle and flow. If you found value in this revelation today, consider becoming part of our prosperity community by subscribing. This way, you'll never miss these sacred teachings as they're revealed. When you implement this practice and begin experiencing shifts in your consciousness and circumstances, I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment with the phrase, 529 is activating my life, so I know you're fully committed to this journey. Your experiences not only validate your own transformation, but serve as beacons of possibility for others who are just beginning. If this resonated with you today, Simple like creates an energetic acknowledgement of the connection we've shared through this teaching. It's a small gesture that helps these sacred numerical codes reach others who are ready for this level of prosperity consciousness. Right here beside this video, you'll find another teaching that reveals the complementary frequency to 529, the exact numerical sequence that removes the deepest blocks to receiving. These two practices together create an unstoppable prosperity current. Click there when you're ready to complete the full abundance activation. Until we connect again, remember, you are the wealth of God in action. Everything you need is already within you, waiting to be activated through these divine mathematical codes.